Hello everyone, this is another video for 1 Minute English, and today we're going to talk about the passive voice. Okay, so in English we have two voices. One is the active voice, which is very common. Okay, we use this in 90 to 95% of examples and sentences in English, and then we also have the passive voice. Okay, if you look at the first sentence here, it's in the active voice. He shot me in the arm. Okay, so we have subject, he, shot, verb, and then me is the object. Subject, verb, object. It's a very common structure in English, but we also have the passive voice, so we change the receiver of the action, me, into the subject of the sentence. So, I was shot in the arm. Here is another example. The shop sold the clothes to Sophie. Or we can also say, Sophie was sold the clothes by the shop. Okay, so why do we use the passive voice? So in these four situations, we use the passive voice. When the subject is unknown, okay, we don't know the person who did the action. So for example, a man was shot in the city center. Okay, we don't know the person who shot the man. When we want to say that the receiver of the action is more important, again, an example, maybe like an accident or something, it's more important to know what happened to the receiver of the action. When the subject is obvious, like he was arrested for a crime, in that case, it's obvious that the police arrested him, so the police is the subject of the sentence. And then when the doer of the action is people in general, okay? So sometimes when we want to say that everybody, it is said that people are nice. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that short explanation on the passive voice. Of course, it's a good idea to study a little bit more, and I wrote a big blog post about this on my website, which you can find in the link in the description. So please check that out. It will help you a lot because there are a lot of examples, and I go a little bit deeper into the topic of the passive voice. Okay? The passive voice is one of these topics that you study and then you try to use, and just be careful with that because it's not so common that we use the passive voice. Listen and pay attention to native speakers and really try to understand, I heard the passive voice. Was that the passive voice? Okay, try to listen out for that. Pay attention in your TV series, when you have English classes, and whatever you do to listen to English. Okay, so just be careful of that. And I want to say a little bit more. There are lots of examples on the blog, on the website, so definitely check them out. And something I talk a little bit about is how to use get. So sometimes we actually use get. I know we use get with everything in English, but we also use get with a passive voice, and I hear this sometimes when people are speaking. So when we use get, think about the example, I was arrested. Okay, and in that case it's number 3 in the video before, where the police, the subject is obvious, right? This is an action, right? This is the action of the police arresting you. So in this case you can use get. So we also say I got arrested, or for example, I was hurt in the accident. You can also say I got hurt. I got injured. Cristiano Ronaldo got injured in the football match yesterday. Okay, so all of these are actions. Think about that, right? But you can't use get when there's not an action. So let's think of the example with the verb like. Like is not an action, okay? I like you, you like me, it's not an action. So let's think, John likes Peter. Okay, if we want to change that from the active voice, change Peter to being the subject of the sentence, then we could say Peter is liked by John. A little bit of a strange sentence, okay? but we can't say Peter got liked by John. Okay, it's not possible because it's not an action. Okay, so that's a little bit extra what you can learn about the passive voice. There's plenty more on the full complete guide that I wrote. I spent the whole week last week writing and designing this blog post, so I hope you enjoy it. If this is a topic that's difficult for you, then send me a message and I'll try to help you as much as I can. And if there's anything else that you find difficult, yeah, please send me a message, put it in the comments below, and I'll try and help you out. Okay, yeah, don't forget to subscribe below and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you again next Monday. Bye bye.